Hello everyone and welcome to Audit Trails. Now before we go forward and discuss as to how you should pursue your AAA paper, let me give you some background. So when me and my sister both were appearing for AAA paper in 2023, we were going in with zero audit experience and that too without any prior training or coaching from a professor. But both of us did pass and that too with a good margin. So, our aim of delivering these lectures to you is to equip you with these strategies, tips, and tricks which you can follow from the day one, which helped us pass our paper. And even if you are fortunate enough to have guidance from any tutor, our videos aim to help you better understand and absorb that knowledge and better implement your answers. Okay, now starting with our exam strategy as to how to proceed towards our AAA paper. So for that, we'll have to follow two plans. First will be our study plan and then our answer plan. Now before we go on and discuss these in detail, there's some other thing which I'd like to talk about, and that is the time crunch. So, as students, what we usually did was we used to wait around for our exam results to be announced and then start preparing for the new paper. So, that usually used to leave us with approximately 1.5 months to prepare for an entirely new subject. And if I ask you in these 1.5 months to sit through around the entire study text, then work through your exam kit and also sit through your mocks, it will be totally unfeasible. So what me and my sister we did was we directly attacked our exam kit. I know it's a bit unconventional and it's a bit hard to digest. And yes, we did stumble upon many topics which were totally new to us. We were totally unfamiliar to those topics, but that was fine. So, what we did was we used to try to solve the question as much as we could, and then we used to check for those answers. So, during the time we used to skim through answers, we used to write those new topics in our notes copy. And for the topics which we felt we required more in depth knowledge, we used to jump back to our study text and then study in detail. And also, technical articles were very important in this kind of learning as well. Believe me, it was a very smart way of working through our AAA paper because it was applied by both of us, and both of us felt that it was tremendously helpful in managing our time. So, my advice to you guys would be the same, is to make exam kit your holy book. Work upon it, meditate upon it, sit upon it, indulge and give as much as time you could to your exam kit. And please do not sit around and waste your time reading through entire study text. Believe me, that would be totally waste. So, yes, now coming back to our study strategy. So, our plan for studying would be to work upon planning, quality management, completion review and reporting, other assignment and ethical issues. So this is very basic, is something which we in any case would cover, but something which we felt was new but was very important through our studies was the inclusion of specific ISAs, because we felt that around 30 to 40% of our paper was entirely ISA based, and that to some very specific ISAs. So, moving forward in our lectures, we have inculcated those ISAs as well. But yes, please do not skip these ISAs when you are learning, and work upon these as well. Now, for our answer plan, we'll be working upon formats, upon ways we'll have to inculcate facts in our answers and exam techniques. Also, professional skills, of course, since 20% of our papers is clearly devoted towards professional skills. So, we'll have to understand them and how each professional skill will have a different impact in our answer writing strategy is something which we'll have to understand as well. Now, moving towards our study plan. So, if I ask you to perform audit of any XYZ company, what will be the first step that you will perform? Yes, you'll plan for your work. Similarly, when the audit starts of any company, the first step the auditor is supposed to perform is to make audit strategy, plan for his work, and most importantly, assess the risk that the company is facing. From an exam point of view as well, the first 50 marks will be devoted towards planning and risk assessment stage only. So the typical questions include identifying and assessing either just the audit risk or both the audit and business risk. Then moving towards our quality management topic. As an auditor, we are expected to maintain a certain level of quality in our work. So, quality management topic revolves around checking whether that quality was maintained or not. So, typical questions will include for us to check whether appropriate staff was involved or not, or whether sufficient time was devoted or not, or whether properly ISAs were implemented or not, or whether sufficient appropriate evidence was gathered or not. Now, moving on towards completion review and reporting. This topic is for the later stages of our audit. In our AAA paper, we are not expected to draft an entire audit report, but we'll have to be knowledgeable about the format of our audit report, what are the different headings which are included under the audit report, and what matter is included in those headings. So, from our case study, we'll have to identify events and facts which will have a different impact on our audit report. Then, moving towards other assignments. These are the assignments or the work which is performed by the auditor apart from the audit of our final financial statements. This will include review of interim financial statements, due diligence, forensic audit, related services, audit of social and environmental information, and public sector enterprise audits. Then moving towards next important topic, that is the ethical issues. Under ethical issues, we'll have to study the ethical codes of conduct. Also, we'll be talking about topics such as fraud and money laundering. Then, as I said, ISA is another important topic that we'll have to work upon. Now, moving forward towards our answer plan, or what we can also call it as our game plan. Why? Because I'm asking from you to think of AAA as a game or a puzzle which you are required to solve in the time of 3 hours 15 minutes. Suppose I present you with a murder investigation and ask you to solve that murder mystery. What are the two things that you'll have to play around? First, you'll ask regarding the facts of the case, and then you'll use your previous knowledge from prior investigations to work and interpret those facts. Similarly, when we are developing an answer plan, we'll have to work with the facts and also the technical knowledge which we already possess, and then develop our answer. Also, when we are developing our answer, we'll have to be mindful regarding the professional skills, because different professional skills will have a different impact on our answers. Also, when we are drafting our work, we'll have to be mindful regarding how we read our paper as well, because how we read our paper will determine our thought process and how we synthesize that information. So we'll have to practice and work upon it to make it as fast as we can. Also, we'll have to work upon how we'll write our answers, how we'll incorporate different facts in our answers, and also we'll have to be mindful that the formats or the different forms of answers are on our fingertips, so that we don't go around wasting time in our paper as well.